Hi, good everyone. Welcome back to Embrace Your Diamond podcasts. Today's podcast we're going to talk about is moments, the good, the bad, and the ugly. The song in Rent, there used to be a Broadway show, was 525,600 minutes. It was a powerful moment, a powerful song, sorry, that basically was saying that there are that many minutes in a year. What do you do with it? And I use that analogy every so often with my clients who sometimes get overwhelmed with life, certain circumstances they get involved in. They can't seem to shake their negative thoughts, how those thoughts kind of trap them into enjoying life. So I thought that maybe, it's a great idea to talk about moments in life. Just like thoughts come and go, and you can either allow them to dictate your mind, or you can just embrace them and just let them go. It's a challenge, it's something to work upon. There are days when you have good days, and there are days when you have bad days. So life is basically a collection of moments. There's the good times in life, there's bad times, and as I call the ugly. The ugly is how you decide upon a moment. Let's just talk about what moments are. Let's be honest. There are good moments. For example, extreme moments when you decide that the love of your life, she decides or he decides to say yes to you and your proposal. It's a wonderful moment. It's a happy moment, exciting moment. It gives you belief. It gives you a validation. Having a child born to you, incredible moments, that can stay with you. Sunsets, beautiful sunsets by a beach, sitting on a beach, just relaxing, enjoying a holiday. They are good moments, seeing your child achieve something that gives you some warmth inside your heart. It gives you a smile on your face. Coming in from a hard day's work and you're met by someone that loves you despite, hopefully. They are the good moments. There are thousands of different things. They're bad moments when things don't go according to plan, or you hear sad news, someone dies, you lost your job, you unfortunately have a car crash, or you go bankrupt. There are thousands of different bads. Again, I use bad in a generic concept. It's all perspective on how you look at your life. Same with thoughts. Thoughts just come and go. And sometimes you embrace them and let them just be who they are. And sometimes they hijack your mind frame, your meaningfulness, your mindfulness. And sometimes it's a challenge for a lot of people to let go and let God, as they say. It overtakes them. It kind of constricts them. It causes them fatigue. Life is a collection of moments. Mindfulness is the beautification of these moments. Is once written in a book, which I can't think of on the top of my head where I saw this. I know a few quotes just to kind of set the stage of good moments. The happiest moments when person finds the courage to let go of what you cannot change. That is something huge. We all struggle with letting go of negative impact. We talked about it in the series of Embracing Your Diamonds, of letting go sometimes of bad environments, bad friends. An alcoholic, the best thing for him to do is to go away from people who make that the focus of their life. If you want to change your life, even again, here's the extreme. Even though when moments that are not enjoyable can be meaningful. For example, like if you're trying to achieve a goal, climb a mountain, it's going to be challenging. You want to run for a marathon, you're disciplined and you have to get up early and you have to find time to balance in your working day life. I would do. And, you run in the rain or you train in the snow and you get up at 5 o'clock and you're disciplined with those. But once you're going for it, you don't always see that as good. But once you achieve your goal, wow, do you feel amazing? Do you feel incredible? Do you feel like, wow, it was worth that moment? And those are the moments that stick in your back of your mind that hopefully that can cement, again, I'm trying to correspond to the series we wrote about embracing your diamonds. The settings of the diamonds is to take moments that inspired you in your life, that gave you the motivation, the courage, the strength to look back when things are challenging. Another quote I found: the measure of a man is not where he stands in a moment of comfort or convenience, but when he stands in times of challenge and controversy. We all challenged by life, let's be honest. Every single day you're challenged, every single minute you challenge. You know, you can get up and have a terrible morning, but you can change it around. You can be challenged in a certain circumstances. Again, diet, budgeting, being in a situation you don't like. I mean, I remember a time when I had to speak and the crowd was not as attentive, but sometimes when you speak, you believe that the message is meant to be put forward in a positive way. And even though it's uncomfortable, you just plug through. And you never know how the energy of despite the challenge has an effect on you, also have an effect on the message that you want to go across. So there are moments you can look back after a hard time and go, whoa, I did that. I was able to overcome that. Yes, I may have the scars and the episode what it is, but it strengthens you. Like just when you're in, your weightlifting, you have to get to that point where you rip your muscle that it regrows to be stronger. I wrote in my Tapao bank of quotes. I'm years ahead, so I can always keep ahead of that more. I just wrote one down saying there are 3 lessons in life. There are lessons, there are losers, and there are happinesses. That means that sometimes in life we lose. There's sometimes when we learn lessons from it, and there are happinesses. All depends on where you want to look at something. Another one: all of our certain moments in our lives needs to take in advice and receive help from others. Again, for a lot of people, it's so hard to ask someone for help. I mean, I could tell you how many times clients have, for years and years and years, have been holding on to this. And I asked them, why'd you come earlier? And there's a variety of reasons, some excuses, but most people, you get over this pride. There's nothing wrong with me. I don't want to look weak. There are moments when you suddenly stop and go, whoa, I want to achieve something, but I don't know how to get there. It takes strength, it takes courage, it takes a strong person to say, hey, help me. These are the good moments I'm talking about. These are the moments that happen every single day. Life is not a day is not always a straight path. It's amazing if you look back, up and down, up and down. You meet good people in your day who are positive and wow, I'm happy to be around them. And then you meet people they have to deal with who are just obnoxious and rude and they sap your strength. And then lunch doesn't always happen at lunch, or things that you worked hard for didn't work out. So the emotions, the moments in a day can be however many moments they are. They are not all they are, but they're not all bad and they're not all good and they're not all ugly, but they are just how. So let's go to what the bad moments are. The bad moments is basically a situation comes in, is how you are willing to look at this. Are you willing to say, oh my gosh, that's it, and hang your hands up and say, it's terrible, whatever it is? Now, there is a concept of letting something go. Like we said again, bad environment. Let your friends go for 35 years because you realize they're not good for you. There are times in your day or in your life that, yes, put your hands up, surrender, move on, take the punch, move on because it's worthwhile. So what the bad things are? The bad things are death. You worked hard, things didn't work out. You have a dream holiday and it gets cancelled due to the fact that the weather or the cancellation of a plane, and you have to miss a wedding that you taken time off. Now you have to. There are thousands and ones of different negative, bad moments in life. welcome to life. Welcome to life in itself. Just to kind of to strengthen the point. King Solomon says in the Song of Songs, one of his chapters, when he talks about there are time to heal, there's a time to grow, there's time to fight, there's a time to be in peace. What he's trying to say there is basically life is not a straight road, as I've just mentioned before. And there are moments that are positive, negative, happy, sad, good, bad. But the underlying thing is that's what encompasses life. And our challenge, just like everything else in life, is how we deal with it. And that kind of goes into the ugly. And we'll talk about the ugly in a second. But I want to stress is that happiness in life is not all good in a straight line. Happiness can be the sad times, because reality is you say, oh, okay, this is a challenging time in my life, and therefore it's going to be a positive side behind it. Or you can find out who you are, how your relationship is with your children and your marriage and your friends and your resilience. So reality, what always sometimes looks like bad is not really bad. It can be good. You just have to train yourself to be patient, to be compassionate with yourself, to be enduring. It gives you the strength to, again, what we said before, to ask for help, to go out your comfort zone, to be happy, not because everything is good, but because you see good in everything. So reality is that sometimes the opposite of good is not bad. Sometimes the opposite bad is not good. Again, it's depending on what your perspective on how you look at something. There's a story about there are two kids that the parents say they're going to give them a gift. And what they do is they come in and the parents want to give them a horse. Okay, it's a parable. So don't kind of like, what kind of parents in this? Anyway, so parents decided to give their child or their children a horse, but they didn't want to give the horse directly. What they did is they took a pile of manure and they put it in a box, and they gave to wrapped in a box with ribbon, and they gave it to them. So they give it to the first son, and the first son opens up and, oh, what a stink! What is this? This disgusting! And he just curses it out, and oh my gosh, my parents, what are they doing? What are they? Oh, and he just And of course, the parents are looking behind, and they're like, okay, he doesn't seem to appreciate it. And then the second child comes in, and he opens up and goes, wow, there must be something behind this pile of manure. It's got to be a beautiful animal. So what's the thing is, again, your perspective on what it is. It's again, but it's not easy. It's easy for me to turn around and say, it's one of my whole premises of my practice is that I wanted to call my practice the white elephant. Because reality, I believe, is that whatever we go through, unless we're willing to embrace it and put it on the table, we may not be able to overcome it. But if we know at least what we're trying to overcome, at least it gives you a mind's eye of, okay, I'm trying to overcome this and that, this challenge. How can I get it? Again, it's a whole life, maybe it's a lifetime mission of how to overcome it. But at least you see what you're fighting, as opposed to, oh my gosh, this is someone else's fault. This is this fault, and life is not fair. You can do that. And what you're basically doing is you are not addressing the problem. It's one of the things I want to talk about in another podcast is labeling. Labels are good, but also labels are bad for the same concept of moments. Moments are moments, and it's how you react to it. It's a balancing act. It really, really is a balancing act. I remember reading a book. I remember the book by Gabor Mate, a therapist, and he wrote a book called In the Realms of the Holy Ghosts, and it was his experiences on addiction. And he tells his life things, and he gives stories, and he gives anecdotes, and he gives ideas. But why do I say this? For two reasons. A, because he says something fascinating it's about addiction. First, he said everyone has addictions. Everyone's addicted to something. and therefore you can't really challenge someone else according to their addictions, because what you see in your eyes is terrible addiction is reality is that you may have an addiction in a smaller way, which really is addicted you into doing the same problem. It's just they've taken to the extreme, and you've just not, thank God, not in the same extreme, but you're still addicted to something. So what does he say there? He says there that addiction really is not the problem. The addiction is the person who's addicted is basically hiding away from the pain. All right. So reality is it's not the drugs as the problem. The problem is why he went on to the drugs. And the reality is, he says, is that most people hide behind, and his way of hiding behind is drugs. Again, I don't want to talk about addiction right now. That's for another podcast, which is a fascinating topic. But reason why I bring that is due to the fact that he says in there that it's the moments of when you look at yourself and go and say, let's be honest, what are you hiding behind? What are you hiding from? What are you hiding from that you don't want to confront? And that's where it comes down into the ugly. The ugly is when we take a situation, whether it's good, whether it's bad, and we spin it in a way to make us the victim, or we spin it in a way that is the problem and I can't change it because it's not my problem and I'm just the cause and effect of it. That's the ugly thing. Every marriage has its ups and downs. Every relationship has its ups and downs. Every business has its ups and downs. Every situation in life is a mixture between good, bad, ugly, painful, pleasant, comfortable, uncomfortable, right? But what makes it go from good to ugly is how we embrace, or how we're willing to either help, I need help, or how am I willing to let it overtake my mind, my life? Is it going to make me miserable? Is it going to make me take away from the beauty of my own soul, like we discussed many times in the last series? The essence of who I am, what I can achieve despite the challenges. Is it going to take away from the relationship that I have with my wife, my kids? Sometimes just embracing and saying, this is the challenge. This moment in time, I have the choice between making it worse or just embrace it and trying to figure out and make it better. That's what I mean by the good, bad, and the ugly moments. They are, just as the song says, the 5,225,600 minutes. We have those moments every single day of our life. The ultimate thing is how we choose. I'm not saying it's easy. It sounds, and me standing just on a podcast saying this is what you should do and this is what you can do. But reality is the difference between the journey between the head and the heart is the hardest thing. It's willing to surrender, to willing to change, willing to go through a bit of suffering, a bit of darkness, a uncomfortability, to work hard to go through the tunnel to see the light, to stay away from the ugly. But again, sometimes we find we're in the ugly, but we can use that catalyst to say, get to the point, I'm in the mud, I'm stuck, I'm dirty, I'm smelly, I want to go for the good. And the more you kind of, if you're trapped in quicksand, they say the worst thing you should do is constantly struggle because it sucks you in more. Stop. Embrace. This is not a good time. This is a very ugly time in my life. And change your perspective of how to try and make those moments, which is life, which is, again, is not a strange road, to pivot towards a better understanding of marriage, a better direction in business, a better advice on marriage. Again, I'm not trying to flog life coaching or therapy, but they can be a very positive help, skill, guidance to change your perspective on the moments in life. Friends, good environment, a positive outlook in life helps you appreciate the moments that we all go through. You know, no one is free from challenges. There's a story of a guy on a boat, on a bus, and he's sitting opposite sorry, it was a woman sitting on a bus, and opposite her was a man, an elderly man with a beautiful bouquet of flowers. And the woman was having a rough day, but no one knows that. And she kept looking at the flowers and looking at the man and looking at the flowers, and it brought a smile to her. And suddenly the bus stops, and the old man looked at the young lady and said, "Here, take it. Where I was going to take this to, it's better if I give it to you to help you enjoy your life." And the woman is blown away as the old man walks up. And as she looks out the window to see where the man is going, he walks into the cemetery. Right? He obviously bought that flowers to give to his, let's be stereotypical, to his wife, who obviously died. But he had seen inside that lady is that at the moment in time, it's better to be alive and have challenges as opposed to being dead where you have no challenges whatsoever. I want to end with something I saw in the Babylonian Talmud. There is a tractate on talking about the Jewish New Year. It's there is a quote there that says that is a man judged once a year, once a month, once a week, or once every day. And there are different interpretations, and they give their proofs. And one of them says that no, it's judged every year on the beginning of the year of how the year goes. And then one says no, and he brings a proof for a different thing. But there's one that says it's judged every single day. Now, I don't want to go down through the discussion because this is not the forum for what it is, but this is what I took from this is that due to the fact that judge doesn't always mean judged by a high power. What was the Talmud I feel was trying to say? There is opinion that judges every single minute, every single day. Is that we have the ability to look at every single second in our life, every single moment, every single episode in our life. That we don't have to wait to the end of the year to give an accounting on the average of what's going on. We have the ability every single day when we wake up in the morning, we go through a tough time, a tough day, to stop and reevaluate and pivot if we want. We have the ability, we have the courage, we have the strength if we truly choose to. Sorry about that. We really choose to. We can. Right now, this moment in time, and you listening to me, you may find someone that this podcast may be so much beneficial. Someone else going through a hard time. You can choose whatever situation in your life. Don't have to wait to the end when you get old and you're gray or the end of the year. You can every single moment you can judge your action, your perspective, your direction, where you're going, and you can change just like that. Now, I'm not saying it's easy, but underlying moments, which I truly believe in all my dealings with people, is that you choose. You can choose how you look at life. You can choose how you look at death. You can choose how you look at challenges. You can choose on how which really way you want to go. Right? It may be easy, but it's once you choose, it helps you direct a direction which way you want to go. You choose. Do you want to be good? You want to be bad? Or you want to be ugly? Do you want to change from the ugly to the bad? Or you want to change from the ugly to the good? Or you choose. We all choose. We all have that ability to choose. Let me just find a beautiful thought just to end off with. Every moment has two faces. It's a moment defined by the past, from which is extended, and by the future to which for itself, which with its own meaning, purpose, or life. That's what my whole purpose of this podcast today about the moments in life. Every moment we can choose to look in the past and see what we did wrong or what we would like to have changed or what we can do and think, well, we're never too old enough to pivot again and enjoy life. Or we can go, oh my gosh, this is terrible, and just live and wallow in self-pity and in pain. And we choose every second, every moment, right? We have that ability. Again, I stress, and I'll stress again, that it's not always easy. But if you choose this moment now is the rest of your life. I choose to, I want to, I need to, I'd like to, I would change my life. I want to have a more meaningful life. I want a more meaningful business perspective. I may have to change things, a marriage, relationship with children, whatever it is. We don't have to wait until it's too late. It may take time. It may take patience. It may take courage. It may take, but we choose right now. We choose right now. And the strangest thing, and I'll end up with this, the strangest thing is that when one person is serious about changing one's life, either negatively or positively, the world does react to the energy that you give out. You do attract what you think about. You do attract what you really want to do if you're honest and true. It's the power of thought, the power of change, the power of goodness, the power of moments. So again, I thank you all for listening to another exciting podcast in Embrace the Diamonds series. I would love to hear from you, comments, criticisms, thoughts. Again, I'm not perfect, and you can teach me something. You can give me direction on making this podcast better. The only thing I ask is that please share this. Share the energy, the positive energy, the moments that we can change our life. Again, a shameful plug, yellowroadthinking.com is my life coaching company. Or if you want to be inspired every single day, Tapao, like on Facebook, or just leave a message on this YouTube channel. Again, I thank you all for listening. I thank you for embracing. And till next time, I pray that you have the courage to embrace every moment and to make the honest, serious, and sincere commitment to yourself that life really is amazing. Life is incredible. And even though maybe darkness now, we have the ability to strike a single match, to light a candle, to enlighten the darkness. So God bless you all. Stay curious and constant believe that you are worth it.